Hello everyone, my name is Liliana Mena. Jerry is a 20-year-old college sophomore who's led an exemplary life, graduating high school with honors and earning a full scholarship to Columbia University in New York City. He had high hopes and dreams of one day becoming a successful lawyer. His life was going just the way he dreamed until the night he made a terrible, uninformed decision. He met a very beautiful, exciting, and seductive woman at a party. They talked, consumed alcohol, and danced all night. They were high on life and emotions. One thing led to another and found themselves having relations. Rumors about Jerry's encounter started swirling around in the days after the incident. One day, to his most unpleasant surprise, found officers at his door with accusations of child molestation. The woman at the party turned out to be the 16-year-old sister of a student at the university. His lifelong goal was now shattered as he was convicted of child molestation and had to register as a sex offender, a title that he will hold for the next 20 years of his life. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported that there were 747,408 registered sex offenders in the United States in the year 2013. The U.S. government places these offenders into three categories. I am one who knows how important it is to consider levels of offenses, as I am personally familiar with a level 1 offender who fell into the system not knowing that he was committing a crime. I feel that sex offenders should only be monitored for life depending on the offense. I want to inform you on the 3 offender levels and describe how some people can fall into level 1. I also want to describe how difficult it is for these particular level 1s to make a life after they have registered. Sexual offenders should only be monitored depending on the offense. With no distinction in the word sexual offender, we can see how some, and again I say some, non-threatening level 1s can be viewed as a dangerous sexual predator. I am not commending any inappropriateness that a level 1 may have committed. However, we should consider that there are real predators out there who purposely carried out their pedophiliac desires on their victims. These are the ones that society should really be concerned about. Currently, level 1s have to be monitored for 20 years. It may not be a lifetime, but it still is a very long span of a person's life to carry such a burdensome title. Many level 1s are people who made uninformed decisions about a partner they had relations with, and some plainly made mistakes at an early age. There have been reported cases in which offenders have engaged in sexual activity with minors due to lack of age knowledge. These are the cases where a teen lies about their age to date an older individual. Growing up, I saw firsthand how many of my friends would use fake IDs to get into clubs and meet older men. I also witnessed how a good friend of mine went through the painful experience of going to jail and registering as a sex offender at 20 years old for dating and having relations with a 14-year-old who lied about her age. Her choice not to reveal her age led to something he never would have imagined. My friend was not on a hunt for children or people to harass. He thought he was dating an 18-year-old woman. He is someone that could have been your son or grandson. He was a typical boy next door who now has to carry a shameful title wherever he goes. Consequently, in such cases, more harm is done than good. Living a normal life can be very difficult for these particular level 1s, as they are judged according to crimes of willful predators. Nicole Pittman, a journalist for the Daily Beast, conducted a 16-month study on the effects of carrying labels for offenses that occurred many years ago in the lives of offenders. She stated, people under 18 convicted of sex offenses, some as young as 8 years old, face decades and even a lifetime of stigma, discrimination, and suffocating restriction. She quotes an unnamed offender saying, I live in a general sense of hopelessness and combat suicidal thoughts almost daily. The shame will never fully go away because people will always remember. It is hard for these individuals to make a life with such labels placed on them. Memories of painful past can be hard to let go for anyone, but imagine that painful past being brought up everywhere you go, making it hard for you to move on. Well, this is what happens to these people when they move to new places, go on job interviews, start new jobs and schools. The release of information makes them social lepers. The enforcement of sexual offender registration is a necessity for public safety. There are deviants in the world whose actions need to be exposed, and people near them need to be advised in order to take precaution. The categorization of offenders helps the public distinguish severity of crime. However, the level 1 category is one that many people could fall into, not necessarily knowing that they are committing a crime. Even though levels help to distinguish offender crimes, the sexual offender label holds no distinction in the eyes of the general public, as all are perceived as sexual predators. Sexual offenders should be monitored depending on the offense. Many level 1s are people who made uninformed decisions or wrong ones at an early age. They are the ones trying to live normal lives despite the stigma. If people understood that not all level 1s intentionally offended, they would be more considerate and would probably treat them better as neighbors, students, and fellow coworkers. My name is Liliana Mena, and I hope that this speech helped you change your mind about level 1 sexual offenders. Thank you and have a good day.